This is a painting of friends of mine. We have in the past vacationed together in St. Barts, and I've taken a lot of photographs of them on the beach. I'm not a photographer, I'm a snap shooter. I take a lot of photographs of people, places, wherever I go, and then I collage things together to kind of recreate the sort of experience, the feeling at that time, etc. So, for example, in this painting, there's no one photograph that would be the same as this scene. There may be 5 or 6 different photos. I just kind of pull them together into what feels to me like the most sort of celebratory and, kind of a quintessential happy beach moment. The painting is sort of a commemorative piece to celebrate the 70th birthday of Ralph Gibson. So this is Ralph Gibson, preeminent photographer, and his wife, Mary Jane Marcassiano. She's a designer, clothes designer. This is Marty and Nancy Short, Steve Martin, his wife Ann Springfield, and my wife April Gornick. I look at this painting, it's a group of very mature people here that are dressed like kids. They have that sort of youthful spirit to it, which I think is fantastic. I mean, look at it, 70 years old. I mean, that's amazing, And it just looks like a bunch of teenagers. I don't have a very rigid technique. I paint very directly, and in the heat of painting, I often forget to dip my brush in the oil and etc. I go back in at different times and wet into wet or wet over dry and whatever, and it produces the effect which I accept, which is that you get this kind of uneven surface of gloss and matte. So I can't talk too much more about it. Technicians would probably just think I'm sloppy, but I have to say that I was extremely happy with the way the flatness of this blue came out. So there's some moments when that drying becomes a real terrific effect, and in the case of his T-shirt, I think that worked great. So I was thrilled with that. I mean, I fully intended to go back into his pants, for example. I basically, as you can see how fast it was painted, I was knocking it in and kind of sketching a form as I was beginning to move across. And the same with the shirt. I just, I kind of put it in almost like a silhouette, and I was going to go back and develop it. But in both those cases, they seemed so alive that I thought, well, why do anything more to it? At this scale, it's a heroic. It's kind of moves into the traditional kind of historic scale of something. So to place a kind of an intimate genre scene on the scale of the kind of heroic is something that I think is important to me, kind of elevating the now and the intimacy of your daily life into that kind of timeless space. I'm not known for doing happy work, and this painting and another painting I did of friends, or actually a larger grouping of friends, are the only 2 paintings I know where everyone's smiling. I have a lot of respect for Alex's work, and I think it's interesting in the context of what I was talking about with my painting and how I'm not known for happy paintings, and yet this is a happy painting. And Alex is someone who paints, sort of a kind of delicious style, kind of bourgeois life and great color, light, and that kind of thing. And you look at this painting, and the one thing that jumps out at me anyway is how disconnected everybody is. If everyone, so it's quite a contrast to that moment. Everyone is sort of there, but interiorized in a way that separates them. And also, there's, they seem more like less of a spontaneous pose to it. In walking through the galleries here at LACMA, came across this painting by Abbott Thayer, and I was just struck by how perfect a landscape painting this is. Place, it captures time, it captures the light of that moment, the temperature, all of the things that our landscape is about, and has this kind of fabulous balance between being naturalistic and completely abstract. This mother and child scene by Mary Cassat drew me to it. Mary Cassat's a painter who I admire because, incredible sort of technical skills and stuff. One of the things I've always loved about her work, especially in the mother-child, is the fleshy density that she gets in the arms and the legs of the child, and this is a good example of that. And I think it has a lot to do, and you look at other works of hers as well, the way she pulls the paint against the direction of the arm form, which creates this kind of rounded volume, and then combined with such a juicy flesh pigmentation, it's just, you just want to go up and kiss and bite this little thing, and just adorable.